Hello everybody, it's Eric from Trimmed and Burning, and today we're going to talk about aliens and the Bible. And I've promised a lot of you guys videos on aliens and the Bible and what it all says, so today we're going to talk about that. Some of you guys may not believe in aliens right now watching, but maybe by the end of this episode you'll have a different opinion. We'll find out.
Trimmed and burning, trimmed and burning.
So the first thing we have to ask ourselves is, are there aliens? There's a common question today. Are there aliens living out there in our universe? You know, our universe is very large, people say, with a lot of planets and a lot of galaxies. A lot of people know about Area 51. That was big, you know, with Bob Lazar in the late 1980s, talking about it being an alien, you know, kind of location by the government secretly out, you know, west in America. We know about other sightings like Roswell back in 47 in America. A lot of other even current sightings in America, and then sightings all over the world. It doesn't take a lot to look this kind of stuff up and find it. There's even sightings from all different eras and time periods, not just modern day, not just back in the 40s, but this goes back ancient times. There's cave paintings with alien-like beings flying in spacecrafts and all sorts of things. So we have to agree that there's some kind of phenomenon taking place with some kind of being, something happening in the sky that people refer to as alien encounters or UFO sightings. And we have to admit that aliens may exist. And I believe they do, and I believe the Bible says they do. And after this video, we'll find out if you think they do as well. Are the aliens from other planets? Now, that's a question I get. Are the aliens from other planets? First, let's get the language down of what is an alien. Now, a lot of you, right when I say alien, are going to think of these green Martians from other planets flying around, or reptilians or something like that. Now, I do believe aliens exist, but I do not believe they exist on other planets or in other galaxies. I believe they are interdimensional beings. This means beings that live beyond our four dimensions. 3 spatial dimensions, 1 temporal dimension, but the 4 dimensions we live in and called space-time that you and I are familiar with. These beings would live interdimensionally, I believe. This is because they can appear and disappear. They can dip into our world and out of our world. This is common in sightings. We'll see a UFO in the sky and it'll disappear all of a sudden or appear out of nowhere. This is because they're dipping in and out of our physical world. And you can kind of think of this as dipping your toe into water. Imagine being a fish. You dip your foot in the water, you have your toe, you wiggle it around, they see this toe, and all of a sudden it disappears, right? Because you pulled it out of their world, out of their dimensions. You can be in the water and then out of the water, but the fish can only stay in the water. So you can enter the water and disappear from the water. That's just one little example, but I believe aliens can dip in and out of our universe. They're not flying to other planets and galaxies or anything like that interstellar wise, but they are dipping in and out interdimensionally. I believe they live in higher dimensions. So what does the Bible say about aliens? What does the Bible say about aliens? People are shocked when I tell them that aliens are actually in the Bible. The Bible just refers to them in other names, such as angels or demons or princes, among other names. But what the Bible is referring to is spiritual beings living in the higher realm, the spiritual world, dipping down into our physical dimensions, our 4 dimensions, right? And this is all through the Bible, but they're dipping in and out of our world. Interdimensional beings, like I said, they are aliens. They are beings not of this world. Again, don't think green interplanetary or intergalactic creatures. These are interdimensional creatures, right? And we're going to find out more about these beings, but I believe is what the Bible refers to as angels or demons or princes and some of these other names. Beings from the higher realm, the higher dimensions that are dipping down into our world that we see in the Bible. So what are some examples of aliens in the Bible? I just told you that I believe the Bible talks about aliens, and this shouldn't be foreign to somebody who believes the Bible, but let me give you some examples as to why I believe this. So you could say that the first alien abduction was in Genesis 5 with Enoch. Now, again, I'm not talking about aliens from other planets and spaceships. God himself is alien to this world. He's from outside of our dimensions. He's living outside our dimensions, and it says that Enoch walked with God, and he got so close with God that one day he was no more. He did not exist in our dimensions today. That he was taken. He did not die, but he was taken. Some could call this an alien abduction by definition, a being from another world taking a being from this world out. And there are other abductions throughout the Bible that I can cover in maybe videos in the future. And I'll talk about some of these other examples in more detail as we go along in the future with other videos. But you could say that the first alien invasion was actually in the following chapter after Enoch, Genesis 6, when it talks about the sons of God coming down into this world. They left their first habitat, as some translations will say, to come sleep with the daughters of men and create somewhat hybrid beings, alien beings. They're these angels, the fallen angels that came down and mixed their DNA with human women. The first alien invasion and hybrid race, you could say, was created in Genesis 6. You can read that right in there in the Bible. And there's many other alien encounters. Anytime an angel visits somebody, like when angels visited Abraham before the Sodom and Gomorrah story. There's 3 men, it says, because they can appear like men, but they were angelic beings. They're beings from another dimension that were in our world that they appeared. They appear. That's a visual representation. And one of them was even the angel of the Lord, maybe Jesus Christ pre-incarnate, we believe. But it's these beings from other dimensions that dip into our reality and dip right out. Even Jesus Christ himself was an alien being from another world. He's not from this world. He came down, it says, to save us, right? From the higher realms. And we know that he ascended into the higher dimensions later on. After he rose from the dead, he ascended into the spirit world with God the Father. The Bible says this. So Jesus Christ himself, a being not from this world, a being that came down, dipped into our dimensions, this time for about 33 years, a long-term, example of this. But Jesus Christ himself was an alien being who then ascended into the higher realms, dipped back out. Remember that dipping in and dipping out. So when you understand what the term alien means, a being not from this world, and you understand that maybe angels and aliens are the same kind of thing, you can look back on this and think, that what the Bible says is maybe what people are seeing, it's more modern cases of angelic beings or demonic beings, or even the princes, the gods of other religions that could be alien beings. But remember, we know there is one true God, Yahweh, and Jesus Christ himself is God that came down to save you and I, but he was, by definition, an alien being. So the Bible says, in a way, that there are aliens, and maybe that's what this whole phenomenon is all about. But we'll get more into that next episode. Until then, I am Eric, and keep your lamps trimmed and burning.
Almost over, almost over, almost over.